Hi, hashtag moms. My name is Colleen, and I am sharing my 5 tips today for telling your employer that you are pregnant. Now, I have done this twice before, both at a big company and then at a smaller organization. So I've been through this experience and I'm here to offer you what I've learned. So number 1 is find out what your company's policies are with regards to leave and notice. This will usually be dictated somewhere like your HR handbook, but a lot of places do state a required amount of notice you have to give if you're going to go on a leave. And that period of time may actually be less than you think. Also, what people choose to do and what they have to do may be different, but at a minimum, you'll need to abide by that company's policy. And if you report to a physical job, you might want to think about things like when you'll start showing, if you're having symptoms at work that you think it would be helpful for your boss to know about so they can support you, etc. My second tip is that understanding once the knowledge is out there, it's hard to control. So you might be the kind of person who's excited for everyone to know your news as soon as possible, and that's great. But if you're not, just know that things have a way of spreading. So if you want coworkers, etc., to be aware, consider who you're going to tell and when. And at the very least, your boss and HR should probably know before others do. My third tip is to schedule an in-person conversation or a telephone call to share your news if possible. I have found that this conversation usually goes best when you dedicate time for it and that people really appreciate hearing the news from you directly. Your company might also require that you put it in writing, but from a human standpoint, a personal conversation will probably go a long way. And ensuring that you and your boss or HR can have time to talk about the details is also really helpful. That way, both of you can ask whatever questions you need to. And it's a really great time to also discuss any accommodations you might need during pregnancy. My fourth tip is to prepare some ideas beforehand for how to make this transition as smooth as possible for your employer. At some organizations, this might mean helping to identify your backfill or replacement, or just figuring out how your work's going to be covered while you're gone. It's not your responsibility necessarily, but again, that will go a long way in helping to ensure that the process is as smooth as possible for everyone, which will also help you when you get back from your leave. You will want to know how long you plan to be out for and what kind of leave your company offers, which can really vary widely depending on the state that you live in, the type of work that you do, the type of organization you work for, etc. My fifth and final tip, guys, is to remember that this is your news and your happy life change. You should not feel bad about taking time away from work to have and care for your child. Employment is always a two-way relationship, and you want to be working somewhere that's supportive of your family life. If you get the sense that this is not the case, it's an even more important time to know your rights. So best of luck with telling your employers that you are pregnant, and know that so many of us have gone before you and done this successfully.